apply for day jobs, and it was very hypocritical. I would go to an interview. About halfway through, the potential boss would say, Mitch, are you willing to cut your hair for the corporation? I would look around, I would see all these women working with very long hair, and it made me angry. So I came up with a compromise. No. But I wear lipstick and high heels.
Good morning. It's Monday, Moral Monday, December the 15th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, motivation, meditation, and moral politics. All that and more when I get back. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you. Now, Varney and Company.
Have a great day. Varney and Company picks it up. Stu, take it away.
I will. Good morning, Maria, and good morning, everyone. A weekend of shocking violence. It has clouded, to some degree, an otherwise joyful holiday season. At least 15 dead in Australia. A father and son of Pakistani descent shot up a Hanukkah celebration on Bondi Beach near Sydney. 38 hospitalized. This is globalizing the Intifada. At Brown University, the person of interest detained in the killing of 2 students has been released. The police could not find enough evidence connecting him to the shooting. The manhunt continues. In Syria, Friday, 3 American soldiers killed in an ISIS attack. The president threatens tough retaliation. In Redlands, California, a man shouting anti-Semitic slurs fired 20 rounds into a house decorated for Hanukkah. And late last night came news that the actor and director Rob Reiner and his wife were found dead at the couple's home. Police say it was an apparent homicide. What a weekend. To the markets, there is something positive here. There's green on your screen. The Dow up maybe 200 points at the open. NASDAQ up about 170. Bitcoin, though, still struggling around 89,400 right now. The 10-year Treasury, the yield there is 4.18 down, virtually unchanged. The 2-year, 3.52. Gold closing in on $3,400 an ounce, 43.67 right now. And look at this. Oh, look at this. Regular gas down to an average $2.90 a gallon. Just for comparison, in California, the average for regular is $4.37. But look at Florida, all the way down to an average of $2.79. On the show today, we will not ignore all the negative news that came out this weekend, but we will try to accentuate the positive, as they say, like cheap gas, record highs for stocks. Nearly 1 million people have $1 million in their 401ks, and there's more to come. Treasury Secretary Bessent says 100 to 150 billion will be going out in tax refunds early next year, averaging $1,000 to $2,000 per household. Cheer up. It is Hanukkah. Christmas arrives in 10 days. This is December 15th, 2025.
And that was Varney and Company, and he is glad. He and everybody else at Fox News is so glad about all the violence over the weekend, even though he sits there with a stern face and, tries to make it out like it's a bad thing. It's a great thing for him and his for-profit news company that he works for, because it means more eyes on the screen. More eyes means higher ratings, which means more money, which means he gets to go out and buy himself another Rolex. Non-profit news now. Back in a minute. Okay, thank you. So there was, over the weekend, 3 mass murderers. Let's put it that way. It's the truth, mass murders. One in Syria, one in Maine, another one in Australia. And there's 2 things about these mass murderers. Number one is the true conservative understands that how you talk about these mass murders is going to make the difference between winning and losing. Number 2, that the tactics that are going to be used by liberals to try to turn this into some kind of a movement, and how to deal with those tactics. So first, as far as the words are concerned, you notice I said mass murderers. And I say mass murderers for 2 reasons. Number one, because that's what it is. It's the simple truth. The individual or individuals in Syria that murdered 2 service people are exactly that, murderers. In Maine, the person that went out and shot up the school campus is a murderer. That's what he is. And then the third one is the father and son team that are both mass murderers. Okay, so it's the truth. That's what they did. Second thing is, using the right words makes the difference in terms of winning and losing. If we go ahead and use the terms murder, which is a law enforcement issue, we can't lose. The issue then becomes about law enforcement. What is it that needs to be done to increase law enforcement issues, security in law enforcement? But law enforcement, do we need more police officers, etc., that kind of thing? That's an issue we can't lose on. If we allow the left, the liberals, to go ahead and reframe, basically change the subject, but they call it reframe the argument to be one of shooting, we can't win that one, because a shootings leads to the solution of gun confiscation, gun control. Already there are Hollywood people on social media that are saying, there's one in particular that repeated 10, 12, 15 times over and over the same sentence. It's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns. And so if we make this a shooting, then that's the logical solution. How do you solve a shooting problem? You take away the guns. I mean, that's all there is to it. We can't win that one. And it's false anyway. The truth is, these are murderers, therefore it's a law enforcement issue. Now, tactics-wise, you got, again, the Hollywood type that's out on X doing it's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns. If we stop and listen to what he's saying, then we go astray. The person that responded to this, who is it's an account called Mr. Guns and Gear, did it wrong. He said actually it's the Muslims and the transsexuals, or some words to that effect, and that's stupid. You don't want to start explaining here. If you explain, you lose. You sound like you have a guilty conscience. You don't do it. You have to find a better way of doing it. You want to go on offense, because it's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns is designed to put you on defense. Okay, so you want to put them on defense. One of the best ways to do it is to say, yes, it's the guns in the hands of liberals. Time is long past time to take away guns from every liberal in the United States of America. Liberals and Democrats are domestic terrorists and have been domestic terrorists since 1861. That's one of my favorite slogans, and I made it up. But you can go ahead and use it anytime you see fit. Again, it's the truth. Democrats are the ones that do the assassinations. They assassinated Lincoln. They have assassinated or attempted to assassinate all the presidents of the United States. And they are the mass shooters. They're the ones that go out and kill children and others, that murder these people. So the good tactic here, yes, it's the guns. Let's take guns away from all the liberals. Let's have gun control and strip liberals of their guns. Another way to also do this is that Mr. Hollywood guy goes, it's the guns, it's the guns. Gee, Mr. Hollywood, how many guns do you have? Because we've seen that. There was a reporter, or a columnist actually, for a newspaper back east, and he got burglarized one day. He was a liberal, staunch gun control guy. He got burglarized, and one of the things that he put on the list of items that got burgled was a gun, a handgun. Wow, look at this, Mr. Hypocrite, who wants gun control but rushes out and buys himself a handgun. So these people are all hypocrites. They again, they're all hypocrites. They all say gun control, but what they really mean is you don't get a gun, but they get as many guns as they want. Because whenever they're going to write legislation, they're always going to put in loopholes. My attitude is always, okay, you want gun control, no loopholes. Okay, you want nobody to own guns. Everybody turns in their guns. That means the military. That means police departments. As I had said about, there was a governor, I think it was Pritzker, that in Ohio, that said he was complaining because the Republican-led legislature wouldn't give him a gun control bill. And I said one of the best things that they can do is give him a gun control bill in which they ban all guns, all of them, every single one. Rubber band guns, BB guns, rifles, shotguns, handguns, all guns for everybody. The police don't own guns because if the rank and file individual in Ohio doesn't have a gun, there's no reason for the police or the highway patrol to own guns. The National Guard gives up its guns because, again, there's no reason for them to own guns. So that's another tactic is to do something of that nature. The idea is put them on the defensive. When he's going, it's the guns, it's the guns, it's the guns, he wants to put us on the defensive. He wants us to explain. And when we do that, we sound like we have a guilty conscience and we lose. Don't do it. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of Varney and Company's interviewing somebody, and they're going to be talking about the midterms and how to win.
Yeah. Okay. So your question is, will the economy help Republicans in the midterms of next year? The answer is yes. The only question is whether they will help them enough to avoid big defeats, as normally the out of power party picks up a lot of seats in those midterm elections. That has been the case in almost every case since about the 1980s. So yeah, Republicans should be worried. I'll tell you one policy that is causing a lot of problems for Republicans with voters, especially Hispanics, is this deportation policy. Deportation. This is my warning to Republicans. Do not say the D word. Deportation is a toxic term with Hispanics. Just wrote a piece on this today. One of the major reasons Trump won this election and that Kamala Harris is not president today is because Hispanics, a record number of Hispanics voted for Trump. They don't like it when ICE is coming into their neighborhoods and taking away people or their neighbors.
Okay, so he's wrong here. What he should be saying is, and he fails to understand, and I don't know how Republicans do this. I assume he's a Republican. Not understand that there's liberals and conservatives everywhere. In every subculture of our country, there's conservatives and there's liberals. Believe it or not. There are conservative blacks. There are conservative Hispanics. So what he should have said was the liberal Hispanics. He acts as if all Hispanics are just one giant voting bloc itching to vote for the Democrats unless the Republicans give them a reason not to. No, not true. Not every Hispanic is on food stamps and welfare. There's a lot of Hispanics that own their own businesses. They pay their taxes, they stand on their own 2 feet, and they expect their neighbors to do the same. That's what they need to do is the Trump administration and Republicans is appeal to those people. First of all, know and understand who your enemy is. And your enemy is the liberals, not the Hispanics. Okay? So it's the liberals. So you go out and you target conservative Hispanics. You go out and have a message. Hey, we know you're a small business owner. We know that you struggle with that small business to put food on the table and to pay your taxes, etc. And we're on your side. Okay, we know you don't want or need illegal immigrants coming and living in your neighborhood because they drive up rents, they make everything more expensive, and very often they end up just, they become criminals and or they just live off the system. They become welfare people. And in the meantime, you end up paying for that with your taxes because you're a small business owner, that kind of thing. So remember, a true conservative knows that we're always dealing with that divide, the liberal conservative. There are liberal women, conservative women, liberal blacks, conservative blacks, liberal Hispanics, conservative Hispanics. As long as Republicans target their message to conservative Hispanics, they'll win. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, a little bit of motivation.
Most of the time, we don't have someone there to keep us in line, to make us do push-ups and give us a good, swift kick in the ass when we slack off. What we have to do is we have to be our own sergeant, to hold the highest standards and allow no slack.
Your problem is you start something, you stop it. You start something, you stop it. You feel good, you do it. You don't feel good, you quit. People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted. Stop waiting for something to move you and move yourself. You're your biggest problem. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons and not let anything else push your buttons. You gotta move you every single day. If you get to a point in your day and you down and out, if you get to a point in your day and you exhausted, you get to a point in your day and you're not feeling it, you can stop right there and change the mood. Nobody control your mood. You control your mood. You control your feelings.
I don't care how small it is. I don't care how minuscule the movement is, but make movement. Move forward and do that every single day, no matter what, including today. You aren't getting any closer to your 5-year plan or your 3-year plan or your 7-year plan or any plan that you've got unless you get up and start getting after it today.
I woke up one day and stopped making excuses. I woke up one day and stopped playing the blame game. I woke up one day and looked at the man in the mirror and was like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Wake up. It's showtime. Let's go. Get up. Go to class. Get up. Do your homework. Work on your gift. It was given to you, but you got to hone it.
When you want to become a diamond, your whole attitude change, your whole mindset, your thinking, your relationship, the decisions that you make, how you spend your time, your energy, all of it changes. See, this is something that you can't be in this business. This business has to be in you.
You take advantage of this opportunity. You let everything else go. You eat different. You study different. You practice different.
It's one thing to talk about your destiny. It's one thing to dream about your destiny. But it's another thing to wake up when you know you're supposed to wake up, to say no to that party, saying no to quitting when you still got 100 more shots to make, saying no when your boss said stop, but you put in 50 more push-ups. You can't just talk about it. You gotta be about it.
Yep, it's tough. It's hard. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy to grind, but I can tell you this. It will be worth the sacrifice if you can grind your way through it.
And that was a little bit of motivation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little meditation.
Welcome, beautiful souls. Your morning is not just the start of another day. It is the spark that sets the rhythm for every experience that will follow. When the start of your day is strong, grounded and clear, challenges don't feel heavy. They feel like opportunities. This moment is where you set the tone. And today, you are choosing strength. Let's begin. Picture your life as a vast canvas. Each stroke filled with different experiences. Colors of joy, threads of challenges, and layers you never expected. Some shades glow with laughter. Others are marked with trials that deepened your wisdom. Yet together, they create the most beautiful picture right here in this moment. Feel gratitude for not just the bright shades, but also the darker tones, because they gave your picture the depth, courage, and meaning. Let yourself feel a deep appreciation. Every experience has carried me here. And here, I stand stronger. Now imagine looking at the day ahead as if it were fresh, blank pages waiting to be written. You hold the pen. You decide the tone, the energy, the story. Abundance doesn't come from having every step mapped out for you. It comes from knowing you have the strength to shape what comes next. Notice how the positive energy settles into your body, like a golden opening in your chest, like a steady strength in your shoulders, like a quiet spark waiting to move you forward. Let a quiet confidence rise within you. I can handle whatever today brings. I am more capable than I think. Now turn inward to the strength already alive inside you. Feel it in your body. The weight of your bones holding you upright. The steady rhythm of your heartbeat. The life coursing through every cell. This is grit, the quiet fire that refuses to give up. The resilience that has carried you through every challenge so far. Sense it like a flame in your chest, steady and unshakable. Remind yourself of the truth. I have faced storms before, and I stand ready for today. Now, gently bring your awareness to your senses. Notice the sounds around you, each one a reminder that life is moving, alive, and unfolding. Notice how the air feels against your skin, cool or warm. Imagine colors, shapes, or light around you growing sharper, more vibrant. See the light, real or imagined, stretching into the day. Every detail around you is here to be noticed. To sharpen your focus, to remind you that you are present, aware, and ready. Invite your senses to awaken fully, like flowers opening to the sun. Now, see yourself stepping into the flow of your day. Picture yourself moving with calm confidence. Handling challenges with clarity and ease. Having energy like a flame and grit like solid ground beneath your feet. See your smile changing someone's morning. Your words carrying kindness, your choices creating impact. You walk through your day strong, energized, and open to every opportunity. Silently affirm, I choose strength. I choose joy. I choose success.
And that was a little bit of meditation. Back in a minute. Thank you. So the Republicans in the House signed some sort of a statement about the murders in Australia. And that's all fine and dandy. The problem is that you send out a statement to the media and nobody remembers it 2 minutes later. They quoted it on television. I can't remember it. So this is my suggestion. If you want something that's a little bit more memorable, take a page out of the Democrats' book. The Democrats are really good at propaganda and propagandistic things. So what the Republicans should do to show solidarity with Jews and Israel by extension is to wear yarmulkes. That's one possibility, although it's kind of hard to see because it sits far back on your head, and wear that for a day, a week, every time they go into session. The House goes into session. All the Republicans will be wearing these yarmulkes. And then you have pictures of that, and those pictures will have a much more lasting influence. Photos, pictures and videos have much more lasting influence than does a statement to the media. The other thing they can do is that there's certain scarves that are worn by either Jewish priests or rabbis, so they could wear those either or both with a yarmulke, but make a visual statement. That is much more powerful than making a written statement. Written statement is a good start, absolutely, but the visual statement, photographic, videotape, etc., is even stronger. Back in a minute.
What is this betrayal represented by far too few degrees on the mercury? This is an affront to the entire sacred covenant we agreed upon. For now on 48 years, I have grown accustomed to my manhood and his accomplices being baptized in steam like some hellish sous vide. I trained myself not to seek salvation in shade, knowing full well that due to some inconvenient pact between Texas and hell, it would somehow be worsened when contained. I accepted this. I made my peace with the arrangement early, understanding that endurance was the price of citizenship and sweat-soaked underdrawers the witness to the fiery legacy of this place. Now you seek to freeze my soul clear through to the bones with the same tepid moisture you've cooked us with for decades. Every degree shy of 50 is blasphemy, and you damn well know it. Now, I can already hear my brethren to the north preparing their braggadocious claims about the true nature of cold, about the precise temperature at which a man is permitted to don long sleeves without surrendering his dignity. I invite those comparisons, but only for those among you who can step out of a work truck in a July Texas afternoon and not instantly melt into a shimmering pool of weak-willed, humidity-driven regret. While even portly men such as myself, blood-thin to the consistency of sweet tea, continue onward to toil with a grin. I find it a fine and ancient agreement amongst men to hold strong the environment suited to us, and this weather is in open violation of it.
And that was Jerry Wayne. Back in a minute. Thank you. So I just heard about it's Sunday, and that there was apparently a shooting. I thought it was a series of stabbings, but killings in Australia during a Hanukkah celebration, and I don't know yet how many people have been killed, have been murdered. But what was interesting is that, again, that they were shot to death. With one witness said that they had some shotguns, but I guess it doesn't really matter. What's interesting about it is because Australia had voted to turn in all their weapons. All their weapons are their handguns and rifles and shotguns all turned in. We turned them into the government. The government bought them back. So I'm understanding here that people that were armed against the law went ahead and killed a bunch of unarmed people. And where was the government? Where was the Australian government? The Australian government is very good at treating their own people, their own citizens, like criminals when it comes to the gun buyback and when it came to COVID. Making sure everybody stayed locked down. And if you didn't do exactly what they told you when they told you, damn it, you're going to prison. They're going to send you to prison or lock you in your apartment, whatever. But they can't keep their people safe from a handful of terrorists. So the other part of this is there's a lot of these victims that are giving interviews. Shouldn't do that. The true conservative doesn't give any of these slobs interviews. They don't deserve it. This is for them a for-profit business. What that means is they are making profit off of the blood of victims. That's exactly what they're doing. The true conservative would give interviews only to those outlets that are non-profit. I don't know of any. Okay? I don't know of any news outlet that's nonprofit. So as far as I'm concerned, a true conservative, I'm not going to express my views, opinions, or anything else with them. They're bloodthirsty, and they should go out of business tomorrow. Actually, they should either go nonprofit or go out of business tomorrow. So those are the two issues here with what happened in Australia. They have the gun buyback, which didn't save anybody. You got a whole bunch of people that are dead. As a matter of fact, it got people killed. Is the government going to admit that they did it wrong? Of course not. The liberals never do. And nonprofit news, who is complicit because they're bloodthirsty. The more if it bleeds, it leads. That's their motto. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, moral politics.
Chapter 23. Basic Humanity. Conceptual metaphor is central to moral understanding and moral reasoning. All of Judeo-Christian morality requires the metaphor of moral accounting, which is based on understanding well-being as wealth, and which allows us to conceptualize such possibilities as paying off moral debts, balancing the moral books, accruing moral credit, and getting one's reward in heaven. Without understanding morality as uprightness and evil as a force, we could not conceptualize moral failure as falling, remaining moral as standing up to evil, building moral strength as requiring discipline and self-denial. Without understanding morality as health and immorality as disease, we would not conceptualize immorality as a contagion capable of spreading and requiring an avoidance of contact with immoral people, or demand that it be wiped out. If we did not conceptualize morality as wholeness, we would not reason correspondingly about the crumbling of moral values, the tearing apart of our moral fabric, the decay of traditional morals. As we have seen throughout this book, a vast amount of our moral understanding, our moral reasoning, and our moral language comes through such metaphors. But where do those metaphors come from? As we saw in Chapter 3, there is a very simple and straightforward answer. Our metaphors for morality arise from our understanding of experiential well-being. We are better off if we are rich rather than poor, healthy rather than sick, strong rather than weak, whole rather than deteriorating, cared for than not cared for, and so on. States of well-being include health, wealth, strength, wholeness, nurturance, and so on. The reason that we have the metaphors for morality that we have, both in our culture and in cultures around the world, is that the very notion of morality is founded on experiential well-being and human flourishing. Putting all metaphorical thought aside, what is moral is what promotes experiential well-being in others. Morality is thus correlated with the promotion in others of health, wealth, strength, wholeness, nurturance, and so on. And it is this correlation between morality and aspects of experiential well-being that gives rise to our metaphors for morality. That is, metaphors for morality are grounded in non-metaphorical experiential morality, in the correlation of morality with promoting strength, wholeness, and health, and immorality with promoting weakness, decay, and contagion. Our abstract system of morality is primarily metaphorical, since it uses metaphors like moral accounting. Morality is strength, and morality is wholeness. Most of the metaphorical reasoning described in this book makes use of patterns of inference and of language through such metaphors. Because experiential morality is the grounding for all of these metaphors, it is also the grounding for moral understanding and moral reasoning. The foundation for all abstract, metaphorically conceptualized morality is thus experiential morality. That is, helping, not harming, on the level of direct experience. Without such fundamental forms of experiential well-being, health, wealth, strength, and so on, a metaphorical moral system cannot get started. Because experiential morality is the basis, the foundation, of all abstract metaphorical moral conceptions, we can ask a very interesting question. Is there ever a conflict between some metaphorical moral system and its basis? Or is there always harmony between a given metaphorical moral system and its basis? The question is important for a good reason. One sometimes gets the sense that an abstract metaphorical moral system is somehow losing touch with what morality is all about. Losing touch with its basis, experiential morality. Losing touch with whether or not human beings are flourishing. Losing touch with the health, strength, nurturance, wholeness, and wealth of individual people on a one-by-one basis. I believe that we can say something systematic about just what this means and just when it happens. Let us consider the two moral systems we are comparing in this book. Nurturant parent morality contains within it something that does not permit it to lose touch with experiential morality. That something is the priority of moral empathy, which is the most fundamental metaphor in the entire system of nurturant parent morality. Even moral nurturance itself presupposes moral empathy. The only part of the nurturance system higher than empathy is protectiveness. You don't have empathy with someone trying to kill or harm your child. But otherwise, empathy has the highest priority. Anyone who puts pure empathy first will empathize with the other fully, put himself in the other's shoes, and therefore not want the other to experience harm, illness, weakness, poverty, misery, deterioration, and so on. It is in this way that nurturant parent morality keeps in touch with questions of individual human flourishing, and hence keeps from losing touch with the foundation of all abstract metaphorical morality. Even the higher priority given to protection keeps one in touch with the well-being of those whom you have a commitment to nurture. Strict father morality is rather different in this respect. Moral strength, not empathy, is at the top of its value system. Right up there are moral authority, the moral order, and retribution, just punishment. Moral empathy and nurturance have lower priorities in the strict father system. Not that they are missing, but they must give way to moral authority, moral strength, and retribution. This means that one does not empathize fully with the morally weak, such as welfare recipients without the self-discipline to get a job, unwed mothers without the self-discipline to refrain from sex, and so on. It means one does not empathize fully with those who violate moral authority and break the law. In other words, you don't empathize with criminals. It also means you don't empathize fully with those lower in the moral order. Species becoming extinct, rainforests, the non-white poor of other countries. The highest metaphors in the system, moral strength, moral authority, and moral order, therefore do not keep one in direct touch with human flourishing at the most basic level of human experience. It matters more in strict father morality that a person is morally weak, lacking in self-discipline and self-reliance, or violating moral authority, a criminal, than that he is poor, sick, physically weak, or uncared for. The strict father moral system therefore gives priority to forms of metaphorical morality, moral strength and moral authority, over experiential morality, namely, poverty, illness, physical weakness, and lack of care. This is where this metaphorical moral system loses touch with the non-metaphorical, literal, directly experienced foundation of all metaphorical moral systems. It is where this system of metaphorical morality loses touch with common humanity. When an abstract, metaphorical moral system loses touch with the very foundations of any such system, it loses touch with the most basic thing that morality is about. Overall, strict father morality is out of touch. It is out of touch with the realities of raising children. It is out of touch with the nature of the human mind, and it is out of touch with common humanity, with the thing that should be most basic to any moral system. Strict father morality is not just unhealthy for children. It is unhealthy for any society. It sets up good versus evil, us versus them dichotomies, and recommends aggressive punitive action against them. It divides society into groups that deserve reward and punishment, where the grounds on which they deserve to have pain inflicted on them are essentially subjective and ultimately untenable, as we saw in the last chapter. Strict father morality thereby breeds a divisive culture of exclusion and blame. It appeals to the worst of human instincts, leading people to stereotype, demonize, and punish the other, just for being the other. Blaming and punishing the other for being the other has led, in the worst cases, to the vilest of horrors. The Holocaust and the ghastly tragedies in Bosnia, Rwanda, Somalia, and so many other places. In this country, it led to the KKK, and it is what many people fear from the militia movement. But even if there is no killing, a culture of blame is not one that is pleasant or productive to live in. It does not make for a harmonious society or for social progress. Insofar as nurturant parent morality can encourage cooperation and provide the incentive, the training, and the environment in which the largest number of citizens can work together productively and cooperatively, it seems by far the better choice.
And that was Chapter 23 of Moral Politics, How Liberals and Conservatives Think by Dr. George Lakoff. Back in a minute. Thank you. This is Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States today, bidding adios to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there, and reminding you that you're not neutral and that the government has no rights.